It's been 2 weeks since our last podcast. One of us went to Coachella. One of us did not. That's what we're talking about. At least that's one of the things we're going to talk about on today's episode. How you doing, Angel?
Doing good, man.
You survived, what is this, Coachella number? How many for you? How many Coachellas have you been to?
So this is Coachella 11.
Coachella 11. Coachella 2022 is in the books, like fresh in the books.
Yeah.
I mean, so fresh, it's like Stagecoach right now. It's not even, you know what I mean? We're not even done using the festival grounds. We just took all of the...
I've never been to Stagecoach. You've been to Stagecoach?
I've been to Stagecoach for one day. I'm not a fan of country music, so I sacrificed myself just to kind of say like, hey, see, I'm a friend. I can roll with it. But no, I am not a fan of country music. So
I've always wanted to go. People ask me, oh, you're going to Stagecoach? But I'm like, I don't know any of the artists, and I like live music.
If you went to Stagecoach, would you like wear a cowboy hat? That's the question. Would you like dress up?
But then I'd just be Mexican. I'm not even country. I'm just Mexican.
See, that's my problem. My problem is I don't feel comfortable with the whole Halloween aspect of it. I don't want to have to dress up. Yeah, I don't want to like that. Right there, you're like acting like something you're not. I don't really like that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta be yourself. Just wear whatever is comfortable because it's the same. I don't know how. I think it's a little bit smaller than Coachella, but I'm pretty sure still all the walking.
I mean, yeah, we're talking 60,000 or whatever people still.
It's huge the biggest country music festival in the world.
Absolutely, but like I said, I still think it's a lot of people in their Halloween gear. You know, like on Tuesday or on Wednesday, I don't think they're wearing those cowboy hats and
there's
boots
people that do.
I know there's a couple of them. Take it easy, but they're not 60,000. They're not 60,000 in the IE. Anyways, I don't mean to bash it. I'm just saying I'm not a.
So all the people come from Nashville. Shout out to all the people from Nashville.
All the people from Nashville. Yeah, both of you. Thanks a lot for listening or tuning in. All right, so back to Coachella though. So tell me what you thought. What's your like initial reaction? It's only what we're 5 days. It's Friday, so it's 5 days removed from the second weekend, the last day, if you will. And tell me your thoughts. What did you think?
It was good to be back. I mean, we took a 3-year break, but the festival definitely upgraded everything. Every stage was just like visuals, sound. It was just way more stimulating than years past.
You think it was actually better, or you think you just like missed it so much that you think it was better?
It was actually better. The production side. So the artist, certain artists you can interchange them, and the music's gonna be fun. But the production, man, like the smaller stages had crazy lighting setups, and no matter who you like, sometimes you go from one stage to the next. You're watching the artists you want to see, but then you don't have like 3 hours where you don't know anybody playing, because the older you get, the less you know.
Okay.
So I would just go into like a random tent, and then what I really like was watching, like, there'll be like some girls or some people just either in a mosh pit singing their lungs out to whoever's singing, and you're like, I don't know who these people are. These people are having fun, so you just feed off the energy. So it was pretty good. All
right, so you said the older you get, the less you know, which explains why I spent that time on vacation with my children on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. We'll get to that in a second. Whenever I go on vacation with my kids, I ask them the same question when it's over. I'm going to ask you this question now about Coachella. Both weekends, 6 days of festival, right? 3 first weekend, 3. I want to know, what was your favorite thing, your favorite one thing, and I want to know what was your least favorite, the one thing you would change. And don't say I would make it last forever. That doesn't count, right? I want to know what was your single best, your single favorite moment. It's the same thing I tell my kids. I'll give you one for my vacation as well. But your single favorite thing and your single least favorite, or the one thing you would change.
So my favorite thing from the festival was just, that's really hard. I would guess to say is just like being back at a big festival where everyone's singing like the same song, and like it's just like something about hearing the songs that you're singing them, that everyone around you is singing in, and there's like an energy in the air.
That vibe.
I don't know that vibe. Yeah, that whatever that is, that Coachella vibe. So just being there again, because it could have been at any festival. I think like just that vibe of just like, I haven't been to a festival since 2019, so just like the crowds and everybody singing and happy, and like I said, everyone's in their own world. Like I walked around, there's some people that are like dancing and clapping to like Harry Styles. There's other people who are just sitting down, just bobbing their head. Then there's like an old couple just like standing there watching.
Old couple, they're like 28?
No. Shout out all the 28-year-olds.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so then, all right, so it sounds like, just being back in the festival environment, nothing wrong with having like 20, 30, 40,000 people singing the same song, right?
Yeah.
That's always a good time. All right, and the worst. Now let's go the other direction. The one thing you would change, the worst thing about your 6 days.
The worst thing? Definitely getting more in shape, because I did not get in shape for the festival. I walked 36 miles the first weekend, and like 34 miles the second weekend.
So you need more endurance.
Yeah.
But not party endurance. You need just like walking.
Just walking, and like, because you go in there. Some people were doing the 12 hours. I can't do that. Like I had a friend.
What time do you go in? Hold on.
So it changed like week to week.
I want to hear about why you think you need to walk and have more endurance. So what time did you go in? Like
Friday.
How hard did you go, if you will?
Like I said, well, it was 30. It's 12 to 12 to 1, or like 13 hours if you really take it.
Sure.
But Friday, the first Friday, so that was my first time coming back to a festival. I had way more endurance weekend too because I did it the first week. So that first Friday, we went in like at 1 because we want to check out Gizzard, which is a local artist from the Valley.
Okay.
She played at 1:40, so we had to be there by 1.
Quick plug. She's the artist that was on your own podcast.
Yeah.
All right, go check that out. Make sure you put a link. I mean, I'm sure Brian can take care of that. Put a link there so you can connect that.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
So that one, we went in early. We watched her. Then from there, we jumped to others, throughout the day. And then just going to like one and just partying with like one artist, listening to the music, then having to walk across the field to check somebody else out while it's also like 90 or 100 degrees outside, which actually that first Friday, the weather was perfect. So it wasn't too bad. So it was just like the endurance from walking and walking.
You need to walk. You need better shoes, or you need actually better endurance?
Just better endurance. I had comfortable shoes. It was just that first weekend was really tough. And then especially if you're drinking and stuff. Second week, I didn't drink. Not even once.
All right. So next year, starting November, we're going to start having you walk like a mile, then a mile and a half, and 2 miles, and build up till you're like marathon ready.
We're going to do it, but we have to set up speakers like along the road. So I'm just like, rock music.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And then occasionally when you walk up, you think it's music, but it's really like a shot of tequila. So you never know when the party's going to hit.
Yeah. You got to keep it going the whole time.
Yeah, I get it. We don't have to talk about the specifics. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. You know what I mean? All right. That sounds good. So while you were at Coachella, while you were at the, world's greatest, largest, music festival, as far as I know, at least, I hopped on an airplane and got my butt out of town, right? One of the best things to do, in my opinion, if you can't go to the music festival, is to get as far away from them as possible. I know both of you guys look at me like I'm crazy. There's going to come a time where you're not going to actually be able to attend it. Maybe you don't get tickets. Maybe you don't know the artist. Maybe you've been a couple years in a row. Those are a lot of excuses. Maybe you're just getting old. Maybe it's spring break for your kids and time to do something with your family. And that's what it was for me. We got on an airplane. We flew from Palm Springs to Dallas to Miami. True story. Our second leg of the flight got canceled. So we spent one night in Dallas with just the clothes on our backs. That was interesting. Wow. That actually happened to be a good time. You know what I mean? You just you wing it, if you will. You teach your kids to just wing it and make the best of it. Believe it or not, the kids are resilient. It's no big deal to them. Tell your kids to wear the same clothes 2 days in a row. They're like, I always do that. And you're like, wait, what? So anyways, no big deal. But then finally got our butts to Miami, got our butts on the cruise ship. And, that's really what the attraction is. We were on... oh man, I hope I don't mess this up.
So you went a little bit early then?
We were hoping to spend 2 days in Miami to kind of do the whole, do the whole 305, party with Pitbull, have some Cuban sandwiches, just live the Miami life a little bit. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. We ended up wasting, I don't know, not wasting, but we got stuck, if you will, in Dallas that one day. So we lost the Miami time. But yes, we still made the cruise. And, that's some next level planning to never travel on the day the cruise ship leaves, right? You always make sure you travel the day before. Not that I plan that stuff out. I'm like luggage. I just go where they tell me. But the moral of the story is, you go on this, we were on a Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas boat. It was a great time. It was nothing. Did I say nothing? And I mean nothing like Coachella. All right. I mean, there were a lot of people in one place.
Were there a lot of people in one place?
But that's about it.
Drunks?
No, I mean, there were some, but we're talking, okay, first of all, like this whole ship, I mean, it is enormous, but I think we're talking about like maybe 5,000 to 7,000 people. I think Coachella's pushing like 100,000.
Yeah.
So it's different. You're probably got, I mean, hey, there's free pizza on the cruise ship. And I know there's spicy pie at Coachella, but I'm not going to say the cruise ship pizza was spicy pie level. That's the one thing I'm not going to lie.
Entertainment?
Yeah, they did have some
What kind of entertainment they have on the cruise?
They had a magician. They have, our cruise ship actually had a high dive like show, which was pretty spectacular, believe it or not. Like Olympic divers that dive off of pieces of the boat into the swimming pool on the boat. It's pretty crazy.
Gravity doesn't when they jump off and then the boat's moving.
Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. All I know is I just sat in the crowd and jammed to kind of the 90s hip hop that was being played in the background while the divers and synchronized swimmers did their thing. They played some, Every Little Step, Bobby Brown, a little, Oh Sheila from back in the day, some of the good jams. But yes, nothing like Coachella. There was free pizza 24 hours or so on the boat, but it was not spicy pie. And so, yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said that it's like, well, all you do is go out of town and then you don't miss it at all. Of course you miss it. When the like greatest music festival in the world is in your backyard and you're not there, of course you miss it. But it was great to spend some time with my family. It was a lot of fun to have spring break with the kids. Like I think I mentioned before we turned on the podcast, I hit the water slides on the cruise ship. The cruise ship had a couple water slides, so we were sure to do that. There was a dry slide, believe it or not, on the cruise ship. We did that. I ate my own body weight in food. You know, you got to have like soft serve all hours of the day. And then the cruise ship stopped in 2 stops in Mexico, Cozumel and Costa Maya, where I did a little bit of, tasting of the local tequilas. You know, you got to do, some, it's like being an ambassador. I'm an American. I come in, I taste the local flavors, right? And then one stop was in Roatan.
How long are the stops? Like a few days?
They're like one day. You get there like 7 a.m. You're back on the boat by like 5 p.m.
Oh, okay. So, and then, is there like a roll call? You have to be back by a certain time?
Yeah. I mean, there's not really a roll call. You just check in, and if you miss the boat goes, and you're stuck there. I mean, it's your job to get back. But it's like I said, the second stop was in Roatan, Honduras. I hope I said that right. And it was great. It was a great stop. We had quite the experience with carrying some sloths. I got to see like 75 guinea pigs kind of running loose in a cage. If you ever seen it, I mean, we used to have like one guinea pig, like as a pet. Seeing 75 was like a whole different thing, And then they had some spider monkeys jumping around. They jumped on my head, stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. It's a good family type thing, you know what I mean? And then we had some local food. We had some gyros, the Greek gyro in Honduras. That was not to be expected, but it was also very good. So, good food is good food. And it was a good time. It's always good to get out there. And I'm not much of a traveler, but I'd be lying if I said it's not good to get out there and expose yourself to the world, much like you expose yourself to all the world that comes to you at Coachella. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of a crazy thing.
I got to meet like some people from Scotland, people from Argentina and Colombia.
Funny thing, I met a couple people from Argentina, a couple Brazilians on my cruise ship, right? So it's true. It's kind of a funny thing. You do meet the world. That's one of the benefits. Yeah. So tell me about the music though. Like I know for a fact that you saw some acts and bands because I saw in your like Instagram stories that I've never even heard of. I specifically mentioned some of like the Spanish music or like Spanish speaking acts that you saw. Tell me like did you have a favorite act or someone that you want to kind of shout out?
So my favorite acts of the weekend, well, definitely it was Big Sean. That was my favorite set of the whole weekend. Like that.
Big Sean, the Spanish rapper.
Yeah.
Grande Sean.
Grande Sean.
Wait, no. Hey, look, if Ariana Grande, didn't they date for a while? Ariana Grande and Big Sean? Or am I messing that up?
To be honest, I don't know.
I don't know. But if they did, then they could be Grande. Their kids would have been. Because he's Grande Sean and she's Ariana Grande. Anyways, go on. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Big Sean was my favorite set just that because everyone knows these songs. He's just been around for like 10 years. So that Sahara tent, like the way they made it, just like everything bounces off the roof. So the voices are just crazy. The Grupo Firme is the one that you probably saw me post about. So Grupo Firme, there.
Doesn't Firme mean like autograph or signature? Or am I messing this up?
No, like Firme is more like slang. It means like the dope band or like the great band or the fun band.
Okay, got it.
It's kind of like slang, but it's just a party, and I've seen some of the clips that they just want to throw a party, and it gets the people going. So a little bit of the, what do you call it, the cheerleader effect. So they have like so many band members, like 3 or 4 singers, and the whole time they're chugging beers, drinking shots. There's custom changes. They bring out dancers. They sing not only their songs, but they sing a few like traditional songs that like every Mexican knows and stuff. So it's just a party, and they party on stage, and then you feel good because they're just partying. So that was one of the best sets. And then Karol G was the best set of one of the.
Is she any relation to Becky G?
No. Besides, they're just both G's. Becky G made that joke. He's like, oh, from one G to another.
Yeah, right? See? Actually,
I'm going to be a rapper. My name's going to be Angel G.
I went somewhere and Becky G was like, had performed there right before we got there because there were still like Becky G signs everywhere. And I wasn't really familiar who she was, and then looked her up and realized like, oh, she's kind of a bigger thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know her music. I know the song that got her famous like few years ago, but I didn't really know her. I just know like Karol G, even I didn't even really know her music either. Like I kind of barely started listening to her right before watching her because I had a negative experience with Karol G. Back in 2019, I'll tell you a little story. So 2019, I was shooting the Latin Billboards after party. So I got hired through one of our friends. He's like, you guys want to shoot the red carpet?
Sure.
And we had to shoot, of course, sponsors, just get all the like celebrities or whatever. They're going to make a little highlight. And they're like, Karol G is the most important person here. She has to take a picture with like one of the brands. Make sure you guys capture that. But at the same time, we also have to capture some performances that are going to be doing inside the thing. So she was like an hour and a half late. So half the time I'm just going back and forth from inside trying to catch her because she's an important sponsor. And then they're like, oh, she's on her way. She's on her way. She's on her way. And then finally she showed up. I got the thing. But when she showed up, the performances were happening. So I ended up not recording any other performances. And then I got her. But I have footage of like Karol G. That was like 2019. And I know she was big because like one of the photographers is like, because I was like, I don't even know what she looks like because I didn't know her. And then one of the photographers, kind of snobby, he's oh, you'll know when you see her. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? You'll know when you see her. Cause I'm like, all right. We were surrounded by beautiful like actresses and other singers. I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, I got to meet her that time. So ever since then, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to her music. Like she kind of made me wait.
Instant hater. You're like, she made me wait, so I'm hating on her.
I was just hating on her, wasting my time, and then she had a couple of good songs that I've listened to, and then her performance just blew me away, man. It was
she won you over.
She won me over big time.
There you go.
Biggest fan. I'm gonna go check out her concerts at the crypto arena like in September or whatever. Yeah, she was so much fun. So she did like her set, like a couple famous songs. Then she did like a tribute, like a 15-minute like a medley or something of like all the Latino songs that were #1 in the world.
Okay.
That never got to perform at Coachella over the years. So starting from 1995, like the Macarena, the Ricky Martin, Selena, just a bunch of Latino artists, like all kinds of stuff. So everyone was just dancing because it's just famous songs. It was just boom, boom, boom. And then she played then she brought Becky G. Then she did.
She brought out Becky G after I talked trash? I was just joking around. I had no idea.
She brought Becky G for a song. They have a song called Mommy that's really popular.
Okay.
They performed that one. And then she did like her final song. And then she also had like an all-female band. So there was like a girl who did a guitar solo and it was sick. And there was like dancers. Like it was just also like a show, like just an entertaining show.
Isn't it sort of biased for you to point out that it's an all-girl band? I mean, shouldn't you just treat them like any other band?
Yeah, that's true. I know.
See, you got me that one time. Yeah. Now I'm just waiting to jump on you anytime.
Cool, like, you don't really
Brian just rolled his eyes at me. I saw that. You guys thought you could trap me that one time. Now I'm gunning for you at every corner. That's what you made. You made an enemy out of me. You thought Karol G or whatever was bad. Now I'm here. Now I'm here watching you. All right, so there was a bunch of, I get it. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. Yeah. But giving you a hard time.
Shredding. Yeah, it was just like so much fun. So
Brian's all mad at me. He's like, you messed up the flow.
You know which one I saw? It was this like Australian band called like, what was it? Gizzard, Lizard, and the Wizard.
Okay.
Something like that. Like Gizzard, Wizard, and the Lizard. Something. It was a crazy.
Gizzard, Wizard, and Lizard. Sounds good.
Yeah,
okay.
It was insane. Like the name sounds insane.
Sure.
I went to check them out because my friend's like, oh, meet me there. Like we're trying to meet up. Meeting people at Coachella is so hard.
Of course.
We're texting each other, and then you get the message like 30, 40 minutes later. And then I'm like, one friend, I was trying to meet up with them the whole weekend. I only saw him after the first day, and then we didn't even see each other the whole weekend. So like on Saturday, like at 7 p.m.
Do you have a spot where you post up? Like there's just, this is my spot?
We're posting up.
Where is your spot?
Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. Okay, that's interesting.
That's like the...
I try to keep it near Spicy Pie. I'm not going to lie. Try to keep it near Spicy Pie.
Ferris wheel or like at least one of the structures or in front of like where they have like the banners where like the stage has like names of who's playing that day.
Of course. The signs, right?
The signs or a speaker, certain speakers. But
I remember the first time I went, I was like, we're next to the lemonade stand. And the guy's like, there's like 9 lemonade stands in here. I was like, oh, my bad. I had no idea.
Beer gardens are a good spot because it's less crowded. You don't have to be 21 to be in there.
That's true. That's true.
There was one the last day on day 2. Right before the main headliner, before Swedish House Mafia, it's the security guards. Like one of them's like, I guess some people came in and they didn't check the wristband, and then he's like, they don't pay me enough to try to fight somebody right now.
Yeah, no, exactly right.
So
exactly
the last
right.
day, like just
just have a good time. Just don't do anything crazy, right?
Yeah, just like.
All right, so one of us went to Coachella, one of us didn't. I'm the didn't. The highlight of my time away.
But I mean, that sounds amazing, like playing with monkeys.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, yeah, of course. Listen, you go on
Everyone
family vacation. You spend a bunch of money on the family vacation. That's a given. You try not to think about that part. You make the best of it, right? And yeah, I mean, I had a great time. I'm not going to lie. My single favorite time.
What was your favorite and the worst?
The worst thing is basically waiting in line for just about anything. I mean, part of going on a cruise is there's a bunch of people there too, right? I mean, it's like, you know, like I said, 5,000 people or something crazy. But, you know, you had to wait in line specifically to like get food when you were already on their private island, right? And then once you're on their private island, I mean, think about that private island, right? So then once you're on there, you already paid to be on the cruise ship. You had to pay money for like everything. You want to go on the water slides, that's extra money. You want to go on these cabanas.
Also, it wasn't like on.
Well, it kind of is. It's like everything on the boat's included, but then you're not on the boat when you get off on the private island. When you get on the private island, you can pay money to go on the water slides. You can pay money to go in the private pool. You can pay money to have a cabana. You don't have to pay money. You can just grab your towel and like sit on the beach. But like pretty much anything else is going to cost you money all of a sudden. Whereas when you're on the boat, it doesn't necessarily cost you. And like, don't get me wrong. I mean, they got to make their money. So I understand how the business of it works. Just like any vacation, there's like the upcharges, right? My single favorite thing is probably just the fact that like when you go to dinner at night, you go order something, you don't like it. You're like, I don't really like this. Bring me the next thing. And they'll just bring you the next thing. It doesn't even matter basically. You can like order multiple dinners. So it's a great way to try things that you've like maybe never had before. Like, you know, if you never really had like a mushroom sauce or whatever, so you try it and you're like, I like it, and you eat it, great. And if you don't like it, you're like, I don't like this, bring me the French
like
onion
buffet,
soup. I mean, it's just that kind of thing is great. And so obviously,
it's like a food that you tried that you've never.
I got 12 and 13-year-old kids, so it's mostly about getting them to try stuff, right?
Pizza.
No, I try to get them. I mean, they're eating shrimp. My kids probably eat fancier stuff than I do because I don't eat that fancy, to be honest. But like, I had steak Diane, which is like a mushroom sauce. I think I'm not really sure. It was very good. I don't know if I have ever ordered that. I don't know if I'll ever order it again. But like, you know, it was a very good meal. I don't eat lobster, but like, you know, definitely worth having the kids try that stuff on the cruise ship and stuff like that. Single best thing is, you know, probably like I said it's probably the food, but it's not really the food.
How is it like also like on the ocean? When do you ever like look out just in the middle of the ocean? Like how's that?
Yeah, man. You look out you're on a cruise ship.
See a tiger?
You don't see anything, first of all, because all the things that live in the sea are much lower. They're not at the surface, right? So you don't really see, you know, any real wildlife. There are whale watching cruises and stuff like that, but this was just know, this is like a Caribbean vacation cruise. So we saw nothing. I think we saw some flying fish, you know, just randomly. That was it. You see some cool birds. I mean, the birds follow the boats because they know there's food and things like that. So you see some cool birds like pelicans and things like that. But I mean, not really as far as like animal wildlife. The ocean itself is gorgeous. The waves getting cut by the boat makes a beautiful sound, right? It sounds cool. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, I'm aware of the environmentalist part of it. I mean, I am a Californian through and through. So it's like part of me is like, damn, like I know this thing's kind of a, you know, gas guzzler. Like I would be lying if I didn't, you know, at least I definitely think about it because you see like the smokestack blowing off, right? But at the same time, it's a beautiful experience. My family loves the ocean. It's a great way to expose them to that kind of stuff. The boat doesn't really rock that much. The best thing about it is just jumping in the water at any given time. The Caribbean water is much warmer than the Pacific Ocean. Yeah. So you can just jump on in without having it. So that's probably my single favorite thing is being able to like, you know, literally walk in or cannonball in off of anything, anywhere, anytime, you know, that kind of thing. Still young enough as a dad to like embarrass my kids. So that's important.
Is that like something you do
every time you go out? The kids are getting to the point where they think they're too cool.
Yeah.
And so you have to do stuff to like snap that coolness. Like I had to go down the water slide first. So like, I'm glad I went down and didn't have anything bad happen. I went on a tequila. They called it a mixology. It was like a mixology class, but it was in Mexico. So they called it mixology. I think I had like 8 drinks before 11 a.m. Woo. When I came back to the boat, it was a little questionable. You made it back to the boat?
You found the boat?
I definitely made it back to the boat. And that's when I ripped my board shorts, as a matter of fact. That's really all that happened. There's not much of the story. You know, I had too much to drink. I looked down. My board shorts were ripped. How did they get ripped? I don't really know. What did I do about it? Not much because you couldn't see anything. But when I went back to the hotel room, those board shorts were effectively retired. So, you know, that was pretty much it. Worst thing about the cruise, I mean, it's probably just kind of the general COVID reality still, right? Like you're still aware of, you know, how many people are getting in the elevator, or how many people are in the small quarters. Everything was fine. There were no issues. They do an amazing job of, you know, keeping everything clean, wiping things down, having windows and doors that are like available.
How's
to be
the
open,
room like that you stayed at? Like, you guys have like a decent sized area?
No,
you know,
it's
like
small, man.
Yeah,
no, it's small. You're on a cruise ship. You're on a boat. So like, your hotel room, if you will, what you want to call your hotel room, is like 170 square feet or so, and that's one that has a balcony. So there's like a traditional room is inside, has no window. Or it has like a fake window. Some of them have like something that look like there's a window, but not a real window, an interior room. Then you have rooms that have a window. And then after that, you have rooms with a balcony. So I had a room with a balcony. So I was already like, upgraded, if you will, right?
Yeah.
But that balcony, I think, is very valuable. You open that door and it feels like you're not as cramped, right? You have like fresh air and things like that. It doesn't take much to heat up like 170 square feet. Like, if the missus takes a shower, the whole room is hot, so I can open up that door.
How
was
the weather like when
right?
you're traveling in the middle of the ocean? Does it get cold? Or?
No, I mean not really. Well, I'm sure, right? Depends where you are. We're in the Caribbean, so it was still humid and still warm. I think night times were in like the high 60s, low 70s, with like a 70% humidity. So you're still feeling that warmth. The daytimes were like in the 80s with some humidity. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, it was a very good time. I don't know if I can blanket say I highly recommend cruising. Like if you have to understand how.
What about for someone like this? Especially like younger, do they have internet? Do they have?
I'm going to start by saying this. Just go on a short one to make sure you like the boat, right? If you're the kind of person that, you like to either stay in your room and do nothing all the time, okay, so then you could do anything. You're easy. Obviously you can go on a cruise ship. But there's a lot of stuff to do on a cruise ship, believe it or not. There's a lot of different things going on. There's a
like
casino.
And
there's a casino, an arcade. Ours had a rock climbing wall, had a dry slide, had water slides, right? Obviously bars if you want to get your drink on. We even had like a bionic, this thing reminds me of it. It was like a robot arm that you just entered your drinks on an iPad. You literally take your little CPass card, your little credit card, right? And you touch it to the iPad. Then the iPad comes alive. You enter your age, and it confirms your age. The moment it confirms
How
your
does
age,
it confirm your age?
because you've already told it like this is like when you got on the boat.
Up all your information.
Yeah, all your information when you first get on the boat becomes like on your like credit card, right? So then once you tell it your age, you confirm like I am who I say I am, and now it opens up the full bar. Here's all the different alcohols that this robot has access to, and if you look at the ceiling, it's just all bottles of alcohol hanging from the ceiling. Right. And then the robot grabs a cup, puts a cup down in a little spot. It's all sensors. And I mean, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it works. Right. And it grabs that. And then it has a built in, like the end of the arm, kind of like the microphone, is like a cup. And then if you tell it you want ice, it takes ice. And then it takes the alcohol that you want and the mixers that you want. And then you can tell it to shake. If you want it to shake it, it like literally holds it up like this and shakes it. If you want it to stir, it like goes around like a robot arm and stirs. It has a little strainer if you want the ice or don't want the ice. It does. I mean, it does it all. Rinses the cup, blow some air in it, and makes the next one. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And then it keeps track all day long over like based on your age, what kind of drinks people age 25 to 35. This is the most popular drink today, this weekend, this cruise. If you're a male age 40, this is the most popular drink, right? If you're any gender over the age of 35, it's just data because all you're doing is entering your stuff, right? And I mean, the most popular drink on many days was the Shirley Temple because there are a lot of children, right? And so your kids are like, well, I want to check out the cool, robot bartender, but they obviously can't have alcohol.
So if you're a bartender listening to this, your days are numbered.
Yeah, your days are numbered. Yeah. I mean, what's funny is you don't have to deal with, there's both the pros and cons of it. You can't say a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You have to literally just order the drink the way that it comes, right? You can't say like, I like it a little spicy. Like it just comes spicy or
just
not.
A human
exactly. There's no human interaction. There's one human being who has to know how to work the software. I don't think they know how to make a single drink. They just have to know how to use the robot software. The robot software that knows how to make,
we're going to learn how to hack that so they could spike it up a little bit.
I mean, if you be the hacker, I'll be the drinker. So we did some robot bartender drinking. That's like crazy. I said, there's a lot of things to do. I don't know if I have footage. I think I took a picture in front of it. I don't really do the whole content thing when I'm with my family.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. I don't collect a lot of it.
I do this. I separate it from my family.
Listen, I've been thinking a lot about all the different things I should be doing on a content-wise, and I'm doing nothing. I got a new memory card. I charged the battery for the camera, and it's just sitting on my desk doing nothing. So I'm kind of awkwardly parked in a stage of like frozenness and desire in my mind to make something, but execution, nothing. Okay. So I don't know. So some of that might be because like the business is pretty busy. Like the actual law practice, I feel like I'm pretty busy. Yeah. Obviously, I just went away on vacation, so I'm feeling nice and chill.
But do you feel like a reset though? Do you feel like a reset for work and like just like
I don't know. I've never understood what that means. I like my work. I don't really ever feel like I need a reset. I feel like you get recharged. You come back like amped up and ready to. Different. Yeah, but then you take 2 phone calls where people yell at you or where something goes wrong, and you're like, man, I wish I was back on the boat. It doesn't take anything to like empty out that recharge. So I don't know. I don't know if I really look at it like that. I think it's more of a time for me to take my focus away from my business and put it on my family where it probably belongs more. Yeah. It's a reminder of, dang, my kids are getting big. I'm missing out. I'm doing, it's that kind of thing for me, maybe a little more. It's less about recharge, more about like, putting focus on the family. I try to do as much as I can on vacation to be like the dad, right? To like carry the bags and if the kids need anything and like step up a little more than I would otherwise do. Cause like on the day to day, it's probably more work work more podcasts with Angel. You know, 'cause I called you on Tuesday. Are we still doing it on Tuesday? I knew your answer would be no. I just wanted to squeeze you a little bit. I knew you'd have like the Coachella hangover, flu, cough, itch, complain, excuse, whatever you want to call it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I expected it, but it's my job to kind of say, look, that doesn't matter. It's Tuesday. That's when we do this. You got to do it. It doesn't matter. I just give you a hard time. But my point's just to say, you take the same energy that you have, hopefully, in your business and in your fun, and hopefully it's the same thing. That's how I know you're doing kind of the right thing, right? I mean, earlier podcasts, you've heard me say, like, I don't know if there's such a thing as like, if you do something you love every day, then you never work. I don't really know if I'll take it that far, right? Like that's like a great saying. You gotta sounds pretty, but there's some work involved, right? You got to do work. Hopefully the work that you do is something you enjoy enough. And like, I mean, I do. One of my big cases actually settled when I was on the cruise ship. Right. So it was in a position where we were waiting to hear some answers, and those answers came back in a positive manner. And so all the concern and potential disaster that was looming all went away. I was not in a place to do anything other than send a simple email to the client, letting them know that the case settled. But you better believe I hit that bionic bar hard that night. I hit the bionic bar hard. They had no idea why. Right. I mean, but for me, it was like, oh, yeah, that's done. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not so much about recharging or taking like time 100% away, because I'm never really 100% away, but it is definitely about having an opportunity to focus more attention on the family during family time, right? At least that's how I try to look at it. So with that being said, are you going to give up Coachella next year to go on a cruise, Angel? Or are you going back to Coachella? That's what I want to know.
Man, after the robot arm sounds pretty enticing. I'm not gonna lie.
Robot bartenders at Coachella.
Monkeys and guinea pigs, man.
So what you're saying is what we need to do is open up a booth at Coachella where we have a robot bartender and a bunch of guinea pigs on the ground. You know, what's funny is that would probably do really well.
Oh, yeah, a photo op without the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
All the Instagram models.
So it's like when they have cats. They have like bars with cats in them, right?
Oh yeah, that's kind of gross.
Maybe maybe we have a guinea pig idea. I don't know if that's any better.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna convince you to go to Coachella next year. So, there was before you say my kids and that, there was parents that took like their 3-year-olds.
100%.
There's like I was at one of the rave tents. Like there's like crazy rave music, and I was on my way out walking out. And then there was a dad with like, I don't know, maybe like a 4 or 5-year-old, and they're dancing with the little girl.
My oldest daughter is 13. And one of her friends has an incredible picture with Billie Eilish. Oh, wow. And so the whole, like, you know, I don't know if you should be going to this thing, just went right out the window when her friend slammed down look at the picture I got with Billie Eilish. And it is. I mean, it's a great picture. Yeah. Her parents are very cool. I mean, I consider myself to be pretty cool. I think we're pretty cool parents. Her parents are very cool. So they might have us be in the cool department with the Billie Eilish.
We got to take them to Coachella next year.
But listen, hey, my kid was on a water slide on a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean, all right? She's doing all right. She's doing all right. Don't knock me, Angel. Don't knock me, all right?
It could be both.
No, you know what? It won't take
in the summer.
It won't take very much to convince me to go back to Coachella. This was not I hate Coachella, so I'm getting out of here. Not that at all. It just worked out with spring break and things like that. And to be honest with you, sometimes it is about kind of taking a break from it. And I don't think I needed a break from it. Yeah. But if you're not going to go, you do not stay in this town. If you are not going to go to Coachella, you get your butt on a plane, you get your butt on a train, you get your butt on a bus, you know, get an Uber, you drive yourself, you do whatever it takes, because the FOMO would be so heavy and so real when you hear that
at night.
From your backyard. It's like, no, what's that noise? Even when I flew in on Sunday, you could still see the lights and the Ferris wheel. And a little part of me was like, dude, that's Coachella right there. But I was like, I just got on. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course.
Come on. How can you hate on other people when you just have a great experience of your own? But I'd be lying if I didn't.
Yeah, it's all about having
a good part of me was like, I could have taken one picture, you know, with like Ferris wheel in the background. I'm like, what up? A little spicy pie in one hand. You know what I mean? Come on. You know, it's a tradition. It's a tradition.
Next year when you go, we're going to have, that's going to be your first, you can make like the 10 reels or whatever, or the 10 carousel.
Afsar's 5 tips for Coachella. And it's going to be just me and 5 different flavors of pizza. It's like number 5 is the Hawaiian. Number 4 is the sausage. It's just me giving pizza. I hope not. There's a lot more to Coachella than spicy pie. I just happen to be a big fan, so I put it out there for them. All right.
I think that's
on that note, that's it. Spicy pie, we're going out with you.
We're going out in the spicy pie, man.
All right, so if you're one of the 18 listeners that listened to the last episode, we appreciate you. If you didn't listen to the last one, make sure you check it out. Thanks for tuning in to Angel and the Advocate. How'd I do?
Amazing.
There you go.
It's good to be back. Let's go.